This is the least flown ship in the entire galaxy. The Asp Scout. Lacon's answer to people who wanted a cheaper Asp Explorer. Or was it? I'm not entirely sure that's true, because I can't tell you what this ship is for. Don't get me wrong, it does have a relatively decent jump range. So with D-rated parts and a Guardian FSD booster, it's not hard to bring the Asp Scout up to a respectable 40 plus light years of jump range. And that's without engineering. But even conservatively, that loadout is going to cost more than 15 million credits. Which kind of defeats the point of a cheaper Asp. Even worse that it can get more range and utility out of a Diamondback Explorer for less credits. So clearly then it was designed to focus more on combat. Nope. No, it was not. So clearly then it was built for stealth, silently stalking its prey in the void. What do you mean? The DBS has more utility slots. So it's smaller, cheaper, yeah, got it. God damn it. It is the ideal smuggling ship for nobody, because why wouldn't you use a Cobra? It's a medium ship with less cargo space than the small. But the Scout is 3 million credits. That's 3 times more expensive than. I mean, I like its tail end. I do. I thought it was a weird choice at first, but if you catch it at the right angle, it really does look like what you would think of a Scout class ship would look like. That front end though, ugh. Nearest I could tell, the Asp Scout might be good at something. I'm just not sure what that is. It seems natural to compare the ship to its big brother, the Explorer, and on paper, it does seem to make sense why the Scout is cheaper. The 2.7 million price difference buys you 2 more utility slots, 2 more small hardpoints, a few larger internals, and a higher jump range. It seems fair, but the Scout falls short in just the right ways for it to not be particularly competitive for anything. If we compare it to the Diamondback line, both the DBS and the DBX can do everything the Asp Scout can do, for far less credits. And in some cases, they can do it better. The DBX is far more suited to combat and exploration, and the Diamondback Scout is more viable as a stealth ship because of its size and utility slots. And to add insult to injury, they're both cheaper to outfit on top of it. It's tempting to compare it to the Keelback, if only because of price, but the Keelback has a definitive use as a miner and an armed trader. Meaning, if you spend 3 million credits on this ship, you know exactly what you're going to be doing with it. You might argue that it's unfair to compare the Asp and the Keelback, as the Keelback is a more focused, natural extension of the Type 6, with 2 medium hardpoints and a more specialized role as a core miner. But the Scout was intended to be a natural successor to the Diamondback line. So, while the Scout does have a pedigree, it doesn't have that kind of specialized purpose. There's no type of exploration that the ship is more suited for, which makes the 3.9 million price tag a bit obscene. Both the DBS and the DBX are also both designated combat exploration ships, but I see absolutely no reason to fly the Scout over the DBX. It just doesn't have a niche to fill. At this point, it seems unfair to compare it to either the Viper or the Cobra line at all. It certainly beats them out in agility, but falls short or just barely keeps up everywhere else. That's not a good look for a ship that costs this much. I shouldn't be comparing this relatively expensive medium-class ship to anything that can fit on a small landing pad. I want to be clear. I don't think anyone should be restricted to using certain ships for certain jobs. Half of the fun of the galaxy is trying new things, running cargo with a Federal Corvette, or using a Mamba as a data courier. When I reviewed the Cobra, I said it was a great ship because it didn't do anything particularly well. The Asp Scout isn't a bad ship because it doesn't do anything particularly well. It's a bad ship because it does everything badly. Flying this ship makes you constantly wonder why you're flying it at all. It is extraordinarily maneuverable, but it's also slow. It seems to have a lovely hardpoint placement, but overheats if you actually use them. The price doesn't justify its cargo space, or jump range, or its internal slots. And all of those issues could be solved with engineering, but why would you? Why not engineer a ship that was already good at those things and make it better? It's a waste of materials. It's like volunteering to be the last kid picked in dodgeball. You're going to get smacked in the face, and you're going to feel bad about it. But there is at least a part of me that thinks this might be a branding problem. If this ship wasn't called the Asp Scout, then maybe we wouldn't have these expectations. If it was called the Nomad, and had a more reasonable cost around the 2 million mark, we might judge it as a competent little multi-purpose ship. Or keep the price tag and let it equip a fighter hangar. Make one of the Class 3 slots military only, and you'd have an interesting first strike craft. A true scout for the battlefield. It wouldn't be the most formidable ship, but at least it wouldn't be hated as much as it is. Because as it stands right now, it's the stain on Lacon's mid-sized exploration ships. It's the racist uncle invited over for Christmas morning. It would be fun to laugh at him if he wasn't related to you, so you just end up resenting the fact that he's there at all. If you're looking for a reason to fly the Asp Scout, I can't give you one. It is infuriatingly flawed in just the right ways to make it a waste of time and credits. And that really is a shame. Real quick, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you already have, then thank you again, and I'll see you next week.